Hello everyone, it's Jenny here. So I've got heaps of new subbies since last video. If you haven't checked it out before, I'm gonna link it above here. So my goal is to achieve 200 subbies, in the next few weeks or in the next few months. It doesn't really matter, but I do need to have 200 subbies because my subbies can inspire me to make more new videos and content. So I will be very appreciative if you can hit the subscribe button. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to do a topic about the pre-loved market for both buyers and sellers. Okay, so before we started, I'm going to introduce this topic for a little bit. So I've been both a seller and a buyer on the pre-loved market for designer handbags for 3 years. I can't say that I'm an expert because I certainly don't buy 20-30 bags per year or sell 30 or 40 bags per year, but I can still give you some useful information based on my personal experience. So without further ado, let's jump into it. This time also I made some notes. Alright, so let's introduce this topic for a little bit. So, like I said, I'm not an expert, but I've been a buyer and seller on pre-loved market for quite a while. I love browsing on the pre-loved market websites where I can find very great pieces from past seasons with fairly reasonable prices. However, there are still some things for both buyers and sellers to look out for. Okay, so let's talk about buyers first. So there are 3 points I made for current buyers on the pre-loved market that you need to consider. So first is the options, then second is the condition of the handbags, and third is the longevity of the handbag. Okay, let's start with options. We know the prices are very great on the pre-loved market, meaning it's buyer's market, because as consumers, we have heaps of choices and options out there in terms of consignment stores and bags and brands, etc. and etc. However, I'm going to talk about something about our options. So, for options, there are, like I said, heaps of consignment stores and websites out there. So personally, if you are holding AUD right now, I do recommend you to shop domestically. So there are 2 websites that are my go-to. The first is the Purse Affair, which is a very well-known business. It's based in Melbourne, and the second one is the EMEA. So the EMEA is EMIER. So I'm going to link these 2 websites down below. If you are holding AUD, I don't recommend you to shop at Fashion File or the Real because these 2 stores are based on USDs. So, but if you are outside Australia and for example, you are based in the US, so I do recommend Fashion File, which I've had experience twice. So the first one was the time that I bought the watch from MS, and the second time I bought a handbag from them. So I had great experience for both of the time. But just one thing, if you are based in Australia, is the import tax duties. So they can be quite a lot, and on Fashion File, they won't pre-calculate that for you. So I reckon it's very trepidatious for customers like me because we could end up paying hundreds of bucks, for example, 600, 800, but it's all based on the value of your item. So I can give you an example. This watch I bought from Fashion File in very great condition, but I ended up paying $340 something Australian for import tax duties. I understand I'm obliged to pay for that, but it's just all the process. Like the amount of money can really surprise you. All right, so this one I bought at like $3,400 or $3,000 or $200 when I converted USD to AUD. So for AUD holders, we're gonna lose first the exchange rate, the currency loss, and second, the import tax duty. So if you are in the US, it's perfect, it's heaven for you to shop from Fashion File, but not for me, because apparently I could end up paying a lot if I did buy a bag. So that's the options. You need to look out the options. So currently AUD hit rock bottom, so you would better shop domestically, like I said before, than shopping from overseas by using GBP, USD, even CAD is very strong right now. Okay, so the second point, like I said, you need to consider is the condition. Even though the prices are great at this point in time, you really need to think about your deal breakers. For me, my deal breaker is the corner wear and color transfer. For example, if a Chanel Mini 22 is at $5,400 something Australian, very great price point. But with one corner wear, just one corner was like rubbing off, like worn off, I wouldn't buy it. Okay, because that's a deal breaker for me. So when you see the price, don't be like overjoyed. You need to pace yourself. You need to slow down, and you'd better take a second look of this bag. Because personally, I would never accept color transfer and corner wear, let alone dropping like thousands of bucks on a handbag like that. Okay, no way. So last but not least is the longevity. So when you're thinking about purchasing this bag from the second-hand market, you need to think about, have I owned this bag before? Did I sell a similar bag before? So what about this time? Is this the color, the texture, the collection that really like speaks to me, or what, right? So also you need to think about the purpose. Like, I'm still talking about longevity, right? The purpose of purchasing this bag. If you are going to lose your interest in the next few weeks, a few months, what's the point of buying this bag right now? All right, so, and I know we are pretty much caught up in the flex culture right now, including myself, but it doesn't give us a perfect reason to overconsume and overspend. And yeah, let's talk about sellers. So for sellers, like I said, it's a great benefit for buyers right now in terms of pricing. So for sellers side, you need to think about your pricing. You need to really consider, is there any chance for you to reduce a few hundreds of bucks of your item to push it for a quick sell? So my suggestion is that if you really need to make a sale very fast, you'd better talk to the consignee or the owner about attending flash sales or weekend sales, which can really give it a nudge for your handbags. Okay, just because some of those people own a few rare pieces that were highly sought after in the past seasons doesn't mean those pieces are to be sold quickly. So if you don't really want to reduce the price because you think, oh, this piece is so rare, this color is just hard to come by, but you need to think about the risk of not selling it in the next few weeks, few months, or sometimes even a year. Because I saw a Chanel 19 handbag sitting on the shelf for a year, not being sold, with twice of price decrease, and then I snatched it up. So it will be another whole story. I'm gonna do another video when it arrives, but I'm not gonna spoil anything right now. So, well, yeah, for sellers, pricing, and the second one is timing. So what does that mean, timing for selling your handbags? For example, if you have a bunch of pastel colored handbags, I don't think it's wise, maybe it's just my own opinion, I don't think it's wise to sell them in winter seasons, especially in Northern Hemisphere. When you are a seller, you need to consider Northern Hemisphere as a major market, as your target market, because people in North America, in Europe, they have very strong purchase power, but it's not definite, right? It's not definite. And also, even though there are some places in Northern Hemisphere can be very cold in winter, there are some subtropical areas or tropical areas that can be very hot all year round. So what I'm talking about is just based on usually what people would do in wintertime. People tend not to wear light colored bags or outfits in wintertime. And here I'm excluding people who live in subtropical or tropical areas because their weathers are pretty different. So, and also, for example, if you're gonna sell something on Vestia Collective, this is another side topic. It's not selling handbags. Just imagine you are selling a pair of leather boots from Chanel in summertime to people who live in Northern Hemisphere. So it would be a bit harder for you to sell them because it's not the right timing. That's all am I talking about. And last but by no means least, so I was talking about condition in terms of buyers, and here sellers, yes, condition. So if you are not sure whether you're going to own one bag like forever or in the next few years, you need to get prepared to sell this item in the future. By doing so, I reckon you need to store it properly after each single use and protect them very. So normally I would chuck my handbags in dust bags and display them on the shelf. Okay, I've never put them back in the box with a sealed dust bag. I don't think it's good for the bag or the hardware either. But the least you can do is to chuck your handbags in your dust bags. So this one is made of cotton. I reckon it's not velvet, so you don't really need to worry about getting stains or colors on it. Okay, so normally, there we go. So normally I would put the felt on it and to protect this piece, right? And inside, just don't forget to stuff your handbag inside. Otherwise, it will lose its shape over time. Okay, it can be a slippery slope. Okay, so currently I don't think there's anything wrong with this handbag. Although I didn't tend to use this bag quite often because yeah, I do baby my Chanel handbags because I just think they're so delicate. They are not for daily use. But just like I said, I'm not sure whether I'm going to keep these bags like forever. So I store them properly, and I do wipe some of those bags, not this bag, but some of those leather bags after each and single use by either baby wipes or pet wipes because they don't contain harmful chemicals or alcohol in it. So yeah, that's how I store my handbags. So that's a lot of work. That's a lot, that it seems to be ridiculous that you need to baby your handbags, but but they're not bags that are from Kmart or Target. They are, they're well made handbags. So, and if you want to get good money, you need to do this. Simple as that. Well, okay, just one last point of condition as a seller. Be really careful with your pen, all right? So, because I saw those revolting handbags with those pen marks inside their bags, okay, or outside the bags, which I think is very ridiculous. You spend this crazy amount of money on a handbag. Why can't you just spend like $10 more to buy a pencil case and put them inside your pencil case to prevent them from leakage? Simple as that, okay? Because pen marks on the interior can be very gross, and it can make, it can just like cut off the whole value of the handbag. It doesn't matter which brand is this bag from. It matters when those customers or potential buyers saw those disgusting marks inside. And to be honest, in many cases, we aren't able to clean inside based on different materials, the lining, especially suede. So just be very careful. If you're not sure about some handbags, you need to bear that in mind about condition, and condition. All right, so this is my video for today. Hopefully my information or my insights can help you a little bit when you are shopping at the pre-loved market. So I will see you in the next one. Bye.